Welcome, welcome, welcome. Welcome back. Our next guest, created music while healing from COVID-19. He joins us today to share about his songs, I Believe, and some of the other songs. We welcome David Soto.
How you doing?
To the show.
Hi.
Welcome, welcome.
How you doing, brother? Long time no see. It's good to see you again.
Nice to see you too. Lower
Thank
East
you.
Side, big up.
Yeah, we're representing Loisaida
Yeah,
on the
yeah.
Lower East Side.
Tell us about the music. Well, first of all, during this pandemic, you kind of got caught out there a little bit with it. Tell us about that. How did you fare? How did you come through?
Yeah, man. Thank you for having me. I mean, it's something I really didn't want to talk about, but friends and family felt that it was important. I was like, let the music speak for itself.
Yeah.
But they said it's important to always give the backstory about why you're
Sure.
creating this music. And late March, man, March 28th, I started feeling that little tickle, the cough. By April 1st, I was like officially down and out, man, with all the symptoms. And it got
had the
really, really
headaches
bad.
and the
I
fever.
had the fever, headaches, chills, everything. I could barely move, just pain from head to toe. It was really scary.
It was like you went 15 rounds of boxing.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. I think the challenge is I really didn't want to let anybody know because I didn't want to get the family nervous and afraid for me. But, and I think that's part of, something I wanted to talk about for those that may be going through it is dealing with that fear and also isolating yourself. Can do you a lot of harm because it wasn't until I reached out to my family and friends that I was able to activate that support system.
So how did you come out of it? I mean, did you start writing music as soon as you were done with that, or you started getting into your music? Or?
Yeah, well, throughout, I didn't eat or anything for 16 days.
Whoa. Yeah.
So I had lost over 15 pounds. So it wasn't until I started recovering. I eventually spoke to a doctor, and they said that I needed to start doing my breathing exercises because it impacted my lungs. So I figure what better way to, breathe and work that out, but to start singing.
Oh,
and, So,
you take the deep breaths to belt out that
exactly
that tune.
So I actually have some of the recordings where I have like the original vocals. You can hear me like struggling and but the process of writing I thought was therapeutic. It was healthy for me to get through because there's a lot of what happens mentally when you're afraid that you're dying. There's a lot that goes through your mind, your family, your children. So that was my fear, man. The 16th day, I was really, afraid.
Did you also think that, wow, I didn't accomplish everything that I needed to accomplish. I need to prepare for this and prepare for that. Did you feel unprepared knowing that or thinking that you were going to go in that direction?
No, I felt that I wasn't ready. And there was definitely so much more for me to do. I definitely want to continue to be here for my family and continue to do the work I do. So that's why I just feel so blessed that I'm actually still here. And
so you didn't tell your family. When did your family find out?
It was over a week.
Yeah.
And I really didn't want to say anything because, I didn't want them to get concerned about.
You just didn't let them in the house, huh? You said
Well, that's what it was. Once I activated that support system, my family and friends came. They dropped something off at the door and ran. So, they hooked me up. I mean, vitamins, ACE, electrolyte. Ginger tea, ginger and garlic tea, all the old school remedies that grandma used to do that we disregarded. That's what's happening now. Because
you feel that your lungs have developed like a pneumonia feeling?
Yeah, I actually do have a pneumonia. It's healing now. I actually did my my follow-up X-rays on Monday, so I'm feeling better. It's improving. So I'm grateful, man, that I've been able to go through this recovery process.
So now you have this song called I Believe. Tell us a little bit about it.
So, I Believe is probably the third song that I wrote during this time. I've written about 6 songs so far. So I've been super, just going through the emotion and kind of this spiritual connection with God and prayer.
God will sit you down and say, hey.
Yeah, it's time to reevaluate.
Yeah.
So yeah, so I believe initially I did a song called Victory, then I did Blessed, and then this one is I Believe, and I felt it was just the most ready to be put out there that I could actually produce here at home.
Is this
So
in
I
a
put
gospel category or Christian
it's
category?
like, yeah, it's kind of like an R&B gospel, like
Yeah.
rock type, a ballad.
Uh-huh.
So it's yeah, and it just talks about being grateful to God and just appreciating the blessing of still being here, reevaluating yourself, you know, understanding that we go through this process and sometimes we end up in the same place that we were because we don't learn
Yeah.
our lessons. So that song just talks about believing that you can get through this and that God can heal you, and believing that your friends and family are super important.
Wow. And you
Yeah.
know what? And you I can hear it a little bit in your breathing, but you've come through, and I believe that you're going to be okay.
Thank you, brother. I
God
really
has
appreciate
got you.
it.
He has a hedge of protection around you. Yes.
Amen.
And I
Amen.
believe that you have favor.
Amen.
Um, you want to give a big shout out to any of the people that you go to church with, or the congregation, or the
Yeah,
pastor?
yeah, Pastor Jonathan. He calling me. That, you know, of course, they were all praying for me and my family, and all my friends. Also, Mount Sinai. I was
Yeah.
able to, you know, do a virtual doctor's visits,
Oh,
and then they
good.
have something called Precision Recovery, where they basically track through an app. So for those that are fearful, like me, of going to the emergency room, you know, check that out. Precision Recovery, Mount Sinai they all have the apps where you can see your doctors
Yeah.
virtually.
Yeah, that's the thing. That's the thing, David. You know, a lot of people were afraid to go to the emergency room because they thought that, you know, hey, if I go in there, you know, I'm going to go off the deep end. They're going to intubate me and put that tube in my throat and everything, and
Exactly.
I'm going to have a rough
Exactly.
time getting out of that.
That's
So a
the
lot of
fear.
people try to heal at home.
Yeah. And I think that's the important part of knowing that these resources exist, because I didn't know till a friend of mine that lives here in the building, he texted me and he said, look, you know, these are other options. You don't have to go in. They can see you virtually. And if they need to recommend antibiotics or whatever medications, they can do that over the phone.
Yeah.
So, you know, it's a great thing to know that. So I've been recommending that to people that don't want to go to the emergency room. And sometimes you don't really have to. You're not there yet.
Yeah, yeah. And plus, you had your old school remedies, and you had
Right.
God to help you out.
Amen. Amen.
Yeah.
Grandma always used to do the ginger and garlic teas. And
Yes. There
now
you
I
go.
know why.
Yeah. That's right. So,
So it's a
wait a
blessing.
minute. You you got to hit me with a piece of one of your three songs that you've written.
It says, I'm here again where I first started, trying to find a way. Yes, I'm crashing again. That's all I wanted. I'm looking for peace again.
That's beautiful. Beautiful
Thank you,
voice,
brother.
Dave.
Thank you, brother. Thank you.
Yeah.
I appreciate it.
How far do you want to go?
Yeah, man. I've gotten a lot accomplished during this time. I've been isolated, so it's been a blessing. I've gotten a lot of support on social. A lot of people reposting my songs. You know, check out my YouTube page, Deso Monster.
Yeah.
Deso El Afro Caribeño. It's Afro Caribbean
There you
style
go.
of music that I do. But I'm also doing an event, May 30, a virtual performance at Loisaida Festival on May
Oh, good.
31st. So folks can check that out, Loisaida Inc. on
Uh-huh.
Facebook or YouTube. So it's like a blessing to be here with you.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be doing Loisaida all from here, from the crib.
All
So it's
right.
I've been blessed to have the support, man.
Now tell everybody to pick up your music in Spanish. Ready? 1, 2, 3.
Bueno, por favor, recoge el disco. I believe we do Spanglish, you know, being that I'm New Yorican. So recoge el disco, si pueden chequear la Deso, el Afro-Caribeño en YouTube y Facebook.
There
Gracias.
you go.
Thank you, brother. You're putting
No, no,
my
mixing it
Spanish to
up.
the
Yeah.
test.
Hey, David, thank you, man.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you taking your time, man.
Continue to heal. May God continue to bless you and keep you safe and bring you through. And I believe that's so because you have a hedge of protection around you. God bless you.
Amen. Thank you, brother.
David Soto,
Likewise.
singer, songwriter. We'll take a break. I've got more open coming up next.